Day one of Texans minicamp on this hot Tuesday. Big Sarge of Texans Wire USA Today and Aaron Wilson of Click to Houston. And guys, still t-shirts and shorts so far, but throughout this offseason, who stood out to you so far, Sarge?
I think that it's going to be a surprise to a lot of the fans. I am really liking what I'm seeing from Juice Scruggs. The amount of time, the amount of reps that he's getting on a day-to-day basis. And I'm seeing that he's starting to pick up and learn more and more as we went through the mini camps. As we went through the voluntary OTAs and now we're at the mini camp, I'm seeing more and more progression from him.
What about you, Aaron?
Chancellor, Tank Dell, I don't know if he's a surprise, but I think that he will show people that he can get off of press coverage one way or another, and once he's open, he knows what to do with the football. He'll catch it, and he'll make some people miss. I would put my money on Tank Dell possibly being the most impactful rookie.
Pair of rookies getting it done so far early on, and once again, it's still really early with shorts and t-shirts on so far with no pads. But the big news of the week has been the announcement that the Houston Texans were going to induct J.J. Watt into the Ring of Honor. He will be the third member. You guys have both been covering the Texans for a long time. Aaron, I'll start with you. What did Watt mean to this organization?
Watt meant everything because Watt was someone that you could say, this was a legitimately great football player. You can't say that about many. You could put them in the category of the very good. Only a few select guys like Andre Johnson, like J.J. Watt, could you truly say, well, that's greatness. That's a Ray Lewis type of guy. That's someone special that can impact the game, whether he was healthy or not. And, we saw that when he came through the torn pec against the Bills, has a sack on Josh Allen, a playoff game. We saw him at his peak when he's a 20-sack-a-year guy, and we're talking that's like Lawrence Taylor pass rusher category. He's a first ballot, as soon as he's eligible guy.
One of the most dominant defensive players of his era. First stop is this induction to the Ring of Honor, and then soon, of course, he's going to Canton as well.
Oh, for sure. And one thing that I loved about J.J. Watt is he was 3-time Defensive Player of the Year, but he could have easily have been Offensive Player of the Year as well.
MVP, quite even.
Right, here's a guy that you could put on the offensive side of the ball and run him out of the backfield, put him at the tight end position. I wouldn't be surprised if JJ couldn't have played wide receiver. But the one thing that really stood out to me about JJ is his philanthropy work and the way that he brought smiles to the fans, the way that he never ever did not interact with fans. Every time he seen a fan, he made sure that he interacted with them. And what he did here as far as the hurricane relief was concerned, that was amazing.
Andre Johnson or J.J. Watt as the GOAT of this Houston Texans franchise? Put you on the spot.
Ooh, that's going to be a hard one, but I would have to say Andre.
Over J.J.?
Yes, because Andre had to do it with, I don't want to say less talent, but Andre never really played with a Hall of Fame quarterback, and that's what dictates what these wide receivers and how they end up in the hall playing with really good quarterbacks. And with JJ was allowed to do it on his own. JJ dictated what his numbers was going to be, whereas Andre had to wait to see if he was going to get the ball or not.
3-time Defensive Player of the Year, 5-time first-team All-Pro. JJ or Andre for you, Aaron?
Right. Obviously, Andre, ton of respect for him, covered a lot of his games, and really one of the most physical wide receivers that I've seen up there with the Anquan Boldens, guys like that, Hines Wards, guys that were very tough physically. But when I think about just touchdowns scored, things like that, he's having a little bit of tough time getting into the hall, and hopefully he'll get in this next round. But to me, JJ, because he's so clear-cut, you know that he's one of the best. There's not a lot of debate that you have to have. And that's why I would give a slight nod to JJ, who I feel like, we talk about what's around you. Not a lot of other great defensive linemen that J.J. Watt lined up next to. So a lot of times he was triple teamed, and he dealt with a lot of attention just like Andre dealt with double teams. And you had to overcome that obstacle. But to me, J.J. Watt, I would put him above him.
Both will be in the Hall of Fame. There's no doubt about that. Now, going back to minicamp today, we've seen C.J. Stroud throughout this offseason. He's been taking some reps with both the ones and the twos. But what does he need to do, guys, to be the guy taking the reps with the number ones for the rest of training camp and throughout to start the regular season?
He's going to have to stay in that playbook. Stay in that playbook, especially with this new offensive coordinator that the Houston Texans have and this new install that they're trying to put in. And so he's not only making the adjustment coming out of college into the NFL, but he's also learning a brand new playbook along with the other Houston Texans. And so for him, it's all about just staying in that playbook and getting the reps.
What about you, Aaron?
Right. What he's got to do, and they've already kind of advocated how this will run, is that CJ will have to earn the job, and to earn the job, you have to check several boxes.
The Nick Casario way.
Honestly, it's kind of the way you want it to be,
absolutely.
because you want to make sure that you don't have a debate within your locker room. You want to have some unity there. So what that means is, one, knowledge of the playbook, as Sarge said. Okay, checking those boxes. Intellectual curiosity. He's asking questions. If he doesn't know something, he's asking, or he's trying to learn from the defensive guys like a Jalen Petrie, like the defense coordinator Matt Burke. That's great. That's good to hear. That's encouraging signs.
C.J. Stroud showed some of that resiliency today. Actually, he missed on a bootleg rollout, but then bounced back those next 2 plays, hitting Robert Woods on an out route, and then found Nico Collins for a touchdown. So some good things brewing here at NRG Stadium. For Big Sarge and Aaron Wilson, I'm Chancellor Johnson.